Daxius said he might show.
You're in.
Well,
Anyone else?
He just said that wife's not back from the doctor yet, so he'll probably be late. So who knows?
Yeah.
What time of
he
day
can
is
pop
it? She's at the doctor now. She's having an affair.
He's in.
Gosh dang! I hope not.
Oh, that's cold.
Not even here, and you're shooting right at him.
That's the best way to get him to show up is freaking shots over the bow.
That is damn.
Well then.
That's a hell of a cold entry.
Yeah. Woo.
For the record, they live in Arizona.
Arizona.
So it is not this late there, but
It's
anyway.
still like almost 7:00. That's like claiming she's at the post office. She's all right. I have not met his wife, but while he's out doing his archaeology nature shit, she's got a friend at home, I'm sure.
Oh God.
Oh my God, he's not backing off.
I'm not until he quits bringing that Starfield crap into the Discord every day.
If it helps, I'm
And-
saving all my dirty jokes for the news later.
All right. And anyway, welcome to the Loose Screws podcast, where what's the opposite of preparing?
This.
Yeah,
Yeah, true.
that's what we do. It's the 2nd of October, which makes this episode 204. Are we doing episode numbers now?
Oh my God.
We know we're doing
before.
3309.
Yeah, it's October 2 in whatever year you think it is. And this
shit.
Oh no, he's here.
and
Holy
now,
crap.
I'm
Shit, it
Commander
worked.
Jay on Tracks, and I am joined tonight by Audaxius. How you doing, buddy?
I'm back from the dead, boys.
Is your wife back from whatever she was doing?
Hey, no personal questions right out of the gate.
Oh, we were already
Oh,
talking about your personal life
Oh,
before you
yeah.
got here. So
It was
You have
personal
an
a
idea.
long time ago.
I could
I
suggest to you, man, you might want to answer this one.
I found time to fit you guys all in my Starfield schedule, so you're
Oh.
welcome.
God.
your
He
wife
said the
found
S
time to
word.
fit something in too, I heard.
Oh no.
no.
Oh God, I will not pull a Baldur's Gate and monopolize this episode by talking about it. Do not worry.
No, talking about Starfield or the other thing. I am lost.
here.
Also with me tonight is Commander Larkshadow. Hello.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
I'm just happy to be here, Bob.
That's the subtitle to the whole show.
Commander Chig is also here, obviously.
Hi. All I got.
Really? You're just going to say hi after that whole intro?
Well, we're going to get our ability to say hi. Well, talk about what's
Okay.
happening and stuff after, right? I assume.
Yep, and down at the bottom of my list, of course, is Commander Nurgle, who probably only got down to the bottom of the list because he was probably the first one in the channel tonight because he's responsible.
It might have something to do with alphabetical order too.
Don't destroy this for me.
But since we're winging everything else, let's wing the order too.
He's got you there.
Yeah. Well, here we find ourselves yet another week, another Loose Screws podcast where we chit chat about space with buddies, and
Ace with buddies.
And Chig.
and also
Hey, now.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah. Wait till you hear the cold intro for the show. That won't be much of an ouch.
Right.
So, well, there's not a lot of elite news, although I'm promised there's some, which we will check in with some of my co-hosts here about a little later. But I'm not aware of it. The only thing I've been doing is we've just been doing more small ship combat. We had another. Let's see, we did Sidewinders last time. I think
Yeah.
Scotty and I were the only ones in Sidewinders.
No, I was
But-
in one too.
Oh, Nurgle did it too. All right, there was a couple people not in Sidewinders. It's starting to be a challenge. We keep going down the combat ladder. I guess the only ship less less combat powerful than that would be the Hauler.
Oh my gosh, Holler Knight.
Yeah, I don't foresee us doing Holler Knight.
Well, Sidewinders, they feel pretty small, but when there's 2 or 3 of us, we still, let's see, what we took down a few wings of 3, Anaconda plus 2 challengers. That was very difficult. That was sincerely difficult.
The Anaconda was fun, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I died in that one.
The wingmates are much more important than what, but being ships that have hull that are just not going to fall over to a pair of size 1 hard points. Yeah, it was pretty tricky. So, but anyway, that's my whole scene. I've not really done anything else. So I got myself out of the way first. Who wants to catch us up next?
Well, I have been, this is Lark. I have been BGSing my brains out, and it's just been a lot of fun. I'm even back in the dropship after not flying it for a long time. I named it after my late dog, so no one can hate on it. That's the rule.
Oh, shit.
Wow. I'm unaware of that rule.
The words were in my mouth already.
Yeah.
Well, no, the reason I named it after my late dog, Dozer, who was a Corgi healer mix, was because he didn't really care what was around him, in front of him, or, existing at all. He would just walk through it. He literally just didn't give a F. Like, he's had tables fall on him, chairs pushed over, like, you name it. He's just walked right through it. And the dropship is very good at ramming things, so I thought it was appropriate.
I see the connection.
I named it Dozer's Wings.
Yeah. All right, I won't pick on you.
Too much.
Yeah, you can pick on me later, just not tonight.
Okay.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Cool. Good.
So how are you doing,
I should
Audaxius?
keep being the host, huh?
Yeah.
All right, Audaxius is next.
Oh, couldn't be better. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Go on.
Awesome.
I've just, some good new things in my life. Things are really looking up.
Like Starfield.
Like the video game which shall not be named. No, I've been my time has been fully monopolized by that which shall not be named, and I am loving every minute of it. But I will concede, I do miss my space flights with buds. It doesn't scratch that itch, so I was glad to hop into the Piranha Squad the other night. But
didn't you have one of your NPCs in Starfield get so mad at you he was in the ship sulking?
It was I can't tell to this day if it was a bug or not, but when you have the fully voice acted professional level production, and I literally have no idea what I did, but you have to be overtly criminal. I mean, just it's like in any video game, it's pretty clear if you're breaching the laws or not. But in tackling a bunch of pirates, my companion literally at one point turns and walks away and leaves, and I didn't really notice. I thought he was just his AI pathing was bugging out. But that your companions are supposed to stick with you. He scuffs off.
So
I later
he
find him
is
in the
just
ship.
Screw you, and
I later find him
out.
in the ship, literally facing the corner.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
No eye contact, and I go up to him, and immediately he's like, "You know what you've been doing," and I was like, "Jesus Christ, buddy!" I had to. It's cool. You can. There's this whole persuasion mechanic. I had to literally persuade him to not leave me as my companion.
Oh my God!
You realize?
So
that
to this day, I have no idea what I did.
That AI in that game is
don't do it,
accurately
Chig.
portraying
don't do it, Chig.
how we feel every time you're around.
Oh, you did it.
I will fully own up to the fact that I'm being intentionally a little obnoxious with the Starfield in general chat, but rest assured,
no.
It has a very finite lifespan. I will come back in short order.
Nothing in this Discord and podcast community has a finite lifespan. Jesus, we've got jokes running forever.
You opened the door. I will not pull a Baldur's Gate, but I will say, the one comment that I will say is that what I've learned about space games from diversifying my space game time beyond Elite is that what I feel Frontier either didn't understand or didn't have the resources for with Odyssey is that inherent to the space game, and if you want to create a player base that has like an enduring loyalty and connection to the game, the prime factor in a space game would be that you provide the interior of the spaceship to your players, because in a space game, when it's about the ship, nothing is going to create in your players a sense of connection and ownership, which then, subsequently will make them more willing to spend money on your product than providing them with the sense of ownership and connection that your spaceship's interior provides. End of rant. Period.
You're an interior of a spaceship.
Yeah, that's it.
And really, without the interior of the spaceship, you'd just be in space. So yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I
There you
need
go.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Chig.
You're welcome. Just gonna,
Wow.
connect those dots.
Yeah. If there's, I don't know what's next for Elite. If it's Elite 2 or any further expansions, the Sensing the Wind, I feel there won't be any more. But if they could use the Odyssey framework to provide any vestige of ship interiors, I think it would more than pay for itself. But that's it. That's all I'll say.
Don't believe you.
Yeah, I have spent as much time playing the game as I have just designing ships. It's its whole own deal, so it's great.
Outstanding.
Yeah. Anyway,
Prax, what have you been up to?
I already did mine. Nothing. I gave my midterm last Thursday. A couple of them were pretty bad.
Let's
Did they show
name
up?
them and talk about what they
But
did.
some of them were really good. So I can't even like give them all credit for my test being too hard, because some of them aced it. So
Nice.
I don't need to talk about that anymore. Proceed.
Who's
I think
next?
I think it's Chig next.
I think it's Nurgle.
You think it's Nurgle? Okay, you two rock paper scissors
alphabetical
for
order.
it.
No, Chig, then Nurgle.
Well, how about we rock, paper, scissors for it? All right.
Yeah.
Ready? Nurgle. 1, 2, 3. All right. What'd you do?
Rock.
I did paper, so I'll go next.
Oh man, he got you.
You made that up.
See, that's what happens when you're on the honor system with Chig. You're
That's not
going
right.
to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, now.
You go first. What did you do?
That's like, let's have a nut kicking contest. I'll go first.
Because here's the little secret to that rock, paper, scissors. I was never going to win it.
Exactly.
The game was rigged from the start.
It was rigged from the start.
Yep.
It was a good week. I mean, Sidewinder Night was.
He's going first.
He's
anyway.
going. He's just gonna go. Yep.
I love it. Sidewinder
gonna
Night. Go on.
Yeah. Sidewinder Night. Hey, look, we're playing by our own rules here. So, we are winging it. We've already established that. Sidewinder Night was a blast.
Really good one.
All Piranha Nights are fun, but Sidewinder Night was really fun, because you're right. There's only so much you can gum your way through with a pair of size 1 hard points, even in a wing.
And that size 1 distributor, like you can't put big energy hungry guns there. They won't work.
Well, not
You
for
can
long at
boost
least.
like once an hour.
But there was Track mentioned that wing of 3 with the Anaconda. We actually ended up, so we all jumped on one of the drop ships first and just tore it apart, and then I ended up kiting the other drop ship while 2 of them went off and gummed down the Anaconda for what seemed like 15 minutes before we were able to take care of that last drop ship. But that was, I mean, it actually took some tactics to pull that off.
To their credit, that was the group that I died to, because at some point the Anaconda and both drop ships got lined up on my poor Eagle, and it's an Eagle.
Yeah. Well, and there was one Anaconda that night that had plasma that was that was leaving some marks when he got a line on somebody. But it was a lot of fun, and it was actually a challenge for a change. In a group, it was a challenge, which was fun. And then I think we have to talk about over the weekend the material gold rush that occurred. I believe I have spent the better part of 4 years saying pharmaceutical isolators do not exist.
And then like whatever exact combination of it has to be outbreak state, but then also
it has to be big enough. I think it has to be I think it has to be a federal system. It's just there's a weird, and even then it doesn't always work, but there was a system about 80 light years from us that went into outbreak, and it was just popping high grade emissions with pharmaceutical isolators to the point where I started the weekend with 17 pharmaceutical isolators. I hit 100, traded down, hit 100 again, traded down, and I think I'm sitting at like 49 or 50 right now.
Okay, the Matrix is definitely glitching out. This is not happening.
This, no exaggeration. I have seen more pharmaceutical isolators in the past 48 hours than I have in the past 4 years.
So, like, what's the under the hood? Like, why did that? What conditions lined up to do that?
According to like the documentation you can find, they are supposed to appear in systems that are in outbreak state, but I think there are more conditions that override it. So it's like maybe it has to be I'm just guessing, but it may be outbreak state as long as no other states exist, which is really hard in systems with 6 or 7 factions. Somebody's in bust or somebody's in public holiday or whatever. Probably things that would line up with outbreak,
Right.
So
that is my suspicion too, that it has to be a clean outbreak.
Yeah.
For whatever
that's an oxymoron, isn't it?
I know. Yeah.
Dirty Outbreak is Nurgle's band name.
Yeah. But no, I don't care what it happened. I was there when it happened. I was able to take advantage of the materials gold rush. So I damn near filled up all of my manufactured materials over the weekend.
When you trade, Nurgle, you said once you traded down from pharmaceutical isolators?
Yes.
You had that many?
He filled it and he had to get room for more.
I filled it twice. Yeah.
That's just like something you'd feel like it's so taboo you'd have to like shower in real life afterwards. It's just
the first time, so I started out at 17, I got to 100, and I knew I had to go trade down, but I was so afraid that the gold rush was going to stop that I only traded down to like 60. And then I went back and filled up, immediately. And then that time I was like, okay, I'm going down to like 20.
Jesus.
So, congratulations on the mythical pharmaceutical isolators. I have to say, I didn't get it. I was reading that on Discord, and I probably could have partaken in that, but I didn't get that excited because that's ultimately, I don't see that as that great. I just a couple of weeks ago before. So this isn't even that uncommon. This is relatively common, but finding a system that has boom and wars and war between like a federal faction and then maybe so there was a system nearby us that somebody pointed out, a system that was in boom and it was popping off a lot of things, but it was all like kind of one type. And then I actually was looking, and the nearest manufactured mat trader, that system where the mat trader was actually a federal system where there were 2 wars. One of the wars associated with a boom state and federal controlled. And so the proto heat radiators, the core dynamics alloys, you could fill up 3 categories at the same time, and 2 of those categories give you the class 4 and class 5. So just as far as and you're gonna fill them up and then go trade them down, much more efficient to do that, which is I think a pretty common. Well, I don't know, it's a lot more common, right? When those 3 system states hit, and then I would basically just scan HGEs. Oh, this one's war. Okay, so we're gonna fill up on. I can't even keep track of them now, but whichever one shows up for war. Oh, here's another one that's not war. So this one's just going to be the federal. It's going to be the core dynamics composites or whatever. And then the boom state produces another one. Yeah.
we kind of there's like two kinds of people that play this game. There's people like you and I who like keep all of our engineering mats kind of full until they start getting a bit low. Then we'll kind of go fill everything up again. And then there's the people that like, I got to engineer a ship, and they're trying to figure out how to find what they need.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's two different kind of play
I
styles.
cannot stand that second type. Like,
No.
I love building ships. It is the most fun thing in the game besides like I like combat the best, but besides actually like flying the ship, doing the design on ED Shipyard, you know, figuring out which parts I already have that I'm not using and which ones I'm gonna have to do, pathing out a route. Like, I groan at the idea of like hauling trade routes and going exploring, but if I need to create the shortest path between engineers based on how many can I do if I go to Felicity first, maybe then I'll be able to scratch another one. You know what I mean? Like, this sort of crap. But I would never in a million years want to go, oh, I need some more of this type of stuff. So yeah, I keep them full. Whenever I see something like that pop up, it's like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna fill 3 bins right now. And you know, you could go trading trying to fill all your mats, but like, there's some of them, like Imperial Shielding is only used on like 1 blueprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
that's the one you trade
there's,
out.
there's
easy to
another
get.
one. And it's easy to find. Yeah, go to an Imperial Systems, but I never want those, so I don't go to the Imperial Systems because I'm trading those down to 0. Or I guess it's not that one; it's a different one that I actually trade down to 0. I want 0 of that grade 5 mat because I am not going to use it. It's like only some blueprint that I never ever engineer anything on. You know, shielded FSD or something.
Yeah.
So-
Well, that's the one that is like your overflow, and you get the other ones all full.
Right.
Or, you know,
I suppose.
Yeah,
But
I have this-
I wouldn't keep going in that case.
well, my
Stop.
OCD, I like to have all of them at like 70. I feel good if everything is 70
yeah.
or higher. Then if I need to make any ship, I can make any ship I want. Like, I haven't been making a ship and been like, oh shit, I got to go hit a trader. I just have enough because I did it like in between making ships. I'd be like sitting around and I'm like watching a movie, and it's like, well, I'm just gonna hop on, do some engineering mats just for shits and giggles because I can split my attention and just do it. Then when I need it, I have it rather than, you know,
Right.
And I know
not having it, needing it.
everybody hates grinding for engineering mats, but
I don't mind it.
I cannot stress enough how valuable it is to just knuckle down once and fill up.
Yeah,
get it
yourself the
done.
head start.
Yeah, get it
They're
over
kind of
with,
good
because
forever.
you're never going to burn through all of it in 1 or 2 ship builds. So just knuckle down, suffer through it, build up that supply, and then, you know, you go build a ship or 2, and then you can rebuild as you're playing.
Yeah,
So
and
what you're
always
saying
take the
is-
engineering mats reward and so on and
Always,
so
yeah.
on.
Is
Always.
rip off that Band-Aid in the slowest, most annoying way possible, but it's done one time.
Right. You only have to do it once because you build up so much of a backlog or a stock that you're not going to burn through it all in 1 or 2 ship builds.
Exactly.
And
Once you
Yeah.
fill up one time, you're kind of good forever.
right.
You
remember
and I live very
I'm
different
just-
in-game lives.
The heyday.
Mark,
Do you
you
guys
play a
remember the
different game.
heyday of
That's
true.
Before the Thargoid War? And we had Thargoid combat missions that we could stack. We could basically
yeah.
all take them
Yes.
and then share them to the wing. So we'd finish a CZ. We'd all get back to the thing. We would share. Everyone would accept, and then we'd turn it in, and we'd just sit there at the station doing that. And our
Exquisite focus
biotech
crystals.
conductors, exquisite focus crystals, and
Modified embedded software. is
modified
that
embedded
one? Yeah.
firmware. Yeah. MEF would be constantly filling up. You could do like a 2-hour play session, and then you'd have to go to the mat trader, and
You can
never
still
had to
do that.
You never had to grind anything. Well,
You
but
can
you
do
can't
that
complete
now.
those missions anywhere nearly as
But
quick,
you don't.
because
You can
the
you can do
requirements
that.
are off the chart now. Like
You can do that without Thargoids, though.
Yeah, but that's no
What
fun.
do we do without? What do you mean?
If
Yeah,
you
what-
find
what-
the right system, and there are several within our sphere, you can stack up the assassinate missions.
Is he speaking English?
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
it's
I
not.
don't kill things that aren't Thargoids.
It's not this. I know what you're saying. Yeah, you could get sometimes 5 or 6 of them, but it was like 5 or 6 per player in a wing of 4.
I understand. That was the Gold Rush day.
Plus, it's like one of the most fun things. You know, it was the the
Thargoid
giant
conflict
disco
zones
ball
were the
versus
shit.
every Thargoid, because we were all there. People who weren't that skilled at AX could join in,
learning how to
because
do
we
it.
were gonna cover them, and it was a heyday.
Dare we say that was like the golden days?
It was
Like,
right before the calamity of
Oh,
22,460.
22,460.
Thank
I'd
you for
have
being a
golden
friend.
girls on the monitor next to me while
Thank
living
you
out
for
the
being a
golden
friend.
days.
Thank
Yeah.
you for being a friend.
Killing
Yep.
Goids with space buddies. It was the shit.
It
That's
was
when
great.
we Operation Bronze Medal, everything. Yeah, that was my favorite little kind of stretch of Elite Dangerous. It's gotta be.
Yep.
We were having so much fun all flying together, murdering stuff. I mean, we had our set of bugs, but nothing like some of the stuff that seems to happen now. I don't know. It's just weird.
And there
Case
was
in point of how
steady
much-
available combat.
And case in point of how much we were doing that, there was a show segment long since defunct, which was the Thargoid bug report,
Yeah.
because we were doing so much AX that we could find every single bug that came up fighting bugs.
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah.
Case in
I
point.
miss it. I'm sad.
Yeah.
Single tear rolling down my cheek.
So I guess that brings us back around to Chig to finish us out.
Oh, all right. Let's see. This week, finished off a month at work. Just had my best sales month I've ever had in this industry. I was close to leaving. Brought in a new general sales manager who I promised would get my best effort, and I don't know, 50% more sales than I've ever had this month. I fucking killed it. So that was awesome. It was a great month. So I was so busy. When you're selling that many cars, you are constantly busy. So that's why I didn't get on too often, because I'd get home and do that. But then me and Izzy decided to watch all the Saw movies, and went and saw the new Saw movie in the theater, where she even painted herself up like Jigsaw, or not Jigsaw, Billy the doll. It was amazing.
I saw that picture. She did a good job.
I thought
of it too.
Jigsaw was the doll. I don't know
No.
anything.
I could have swore Jigsaw was the doll.
No,
But he's
that's
always sitting there
Billy.
when the voice happens.
That's Billy. God.
to play a game?
Yes, exactly.
grind for mats?
You want to get some pharmaceutical isolators? Oh my God! You gotta grind this many pharmaceutical isolators.
pharmaceutical isolators, but
in this amount of time.
But you need to fly to Beagle Point. Make your choice.
Or your
There's a high
arm
grade
gets ripped
emissions.
off.
But you have to sit still for 3 hours,
Or Calarum
killing
will
the
go into-
task and rebooting.
I'm out.
Pick up the pharmaceutical isolators, or Calarum will go into expansion again. Make your
Oh God.
choice.
Excellent.
Too soon.
Outstanding. We also what else happened in life? My wife's car accident, got the appraisal on the vehicle just a hair under $7,000.
Wow.
Isn't it always amazing?
So $6,900. Nice. In damage. So that's awesome.
420% interest.
But
Yeah.
luckily, yes. Luckily, we don't have to pay the deductible or anything. It's all covered.
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff.
good.
So that's gonna work out. And no, I'm not gonna repeat the next part, because you never know who might be listening, and we'll carry on. Insurance fraud is a crime, people. And
Wow.
let's see. Burr messaged
yeah.
me just to talk about. Well, he wanted to let me know that it was it was PitCon, not BurrCon. Apparently, I called it BurrCon during the last show.
Well, that one slipped by me.
Yeah, we all know it was ReniCon.
So
Mecon.
he called me out, and he just pointed out some things that happened there and how good of a time it was. It was Tokuso played, and like the most popular one of his songs is Let's Jump Together, that was made for Distant Worlds 2, I believe. I think
that was
most
like
of us have heard it.
That was
It's a nice
first
video, too.
album. The album that he'd made kind of shortly after this podcast started, I think.
Yeah. So he's kind of on the map. If you've been around for a while, you know who he is, and you know the music that he's made some new ones. Made a new one specifically for what is it again? PitCon. I got it. That's right.
It's ReniCon.
celebrating
ReneCon.
all of the accomplishments
T-Con.
of Brad Pitt.
Screenshot
Fish on a
con?
stick con.
So
Scarf Con.
yeah,
Scarf
scarf.
con.
There it is.
There it is.
That's it.
Yeah.
Once I got done watching all of Brad Pitt's movies, once interviewed with Vampire finished up, they played a song that Tokuso made just for them, for the Burr Pit, a new track that was all about the Burr
He
Pit.
almost said it.
You still can't say it right.
I know.
Burr Pit. But it left them in floods. Now, I'm assuming that's a British way of saying they were crying, either tears of joy or something.
That sounds British for crying.
I'm gonna go with peeing. Yeah, I'm gonna go with crying. Yeah.
Or there was an actual flood and everyone got a raft and it was just a great time.
That's possible. That's possible. It is England. It rains a lot over there. So I just wanted to say that, and I wanted to say he wanted to make it known that we are all invited next year. Americans are allowed to attend, and they would love to have a contingent from Redneck Radio over there.
They don't know what they mean. They don't know what they mean when they say that.
They don't.
But
They
they're
don't know
gonna
what they're
have.
asking for.
I would love
Yeah.
to show them what they mean when they say that.
Yes, I would too.
I would
I'm gonna start
love a
growing a
freaking
mullet
trip
now,
there.
so I'm ready for a year from now. And I'm gonna try to make it next year. I'm putting that out. I'm putting it out there right now. I am gonna make a valiant effort if they have. Hold on. We go back. Read my notes.
Yep.
PitCon 2. I will show up. But if we get a whole contingent of loose screws there, it's got to be renamed Loose Pit Con, right? Just saying.
No, no. Nobody needs loose pits.
We've already talked about how any convention that involves us cannot be named.
No, it cannot. The con that will not be named because it cannot be Screw Con. It cannot be Loose Con. But needless to say, I will have to make a request that there's no goddamn tea there. I don't know if I can show up. But apparently Rini is hunting me, is what he said to me at the end, and I don't know what that means. So I'm just gonna live the next year in fear. So yeah, thought I'd share that little story.
For PitCon 2, the scarf strikes back.
I'm showing up wearing a scarf.
Actually, knowing Rini's talent with taking pictures, she can probably, with one Xbox controller, control like 100 drones and is just following you around at all times.
Yeah.
Crazy stalker. I love it. So
And we would have to have loose screws scarves for ScarfCon.
loose.
Aren't those already in the store already? There's leggings.
If not, they need to be.
Probably. There's all kinds of fun stuff in the store.
Okay,
Hold
we've
on,
got
let me-
coffee mugs. Do we have teacups? We should.
We need
should
teacups.
really have like some kind of.
What's
teacup.
I mean,
Really,
know.
you could just put tea in a coffee mug and replace
be
the
fair,
tea with coffee, and everything's good.
Yeah, teacup is a fancy English word for mug.
Isn't a teacup just a dainty mug? I mean, really,
A
those
dainty
people.
mug.
Yeah, those people.
Gotta have your pinky out. Yeah. It's a mug with your pinky out.
Yes. And,
The pinky
you know,
prevents it from getting on your scarf.
what?
wow.
Don't ask these questions. Just carry on.
Chig, you ask that like there's an answer.
Remember, we're winging it. Just nod and carry on.
But they can't see
Hashtag
me
doing it
nodding, so I
live.
gotta say what?
I don't think there's a scarf on here.
Oh, and randomly, we talked about this is like the 200 and something episode. We didn't even mention when it was like the 200th episode. I think we just got a blast right past that.
That's the trouble with our episode numbers, though, is because it's not. You know what I mean? Like it's not actually that. So it's all the sort of wind is taken out of that.
Well, exactly. But it was the 200th numbered episode. Like today is the 204th.
Fourth. Yeah, I think
It's
so.
actually the 224th. And we can even do more.
224.
Do more like breakdowns of that. We have one episode that's just an hour of silence.
Which is awesome.
I
one was
forgot about
epic.
that one.
But that was an in between episode. That one has
Yeah.
a 0.5 at the end.
Yeah. It's a 0.5.
Yes, but it is one of the 224 episodes.
Also, we legally cannot count the episode that was copyright struck by Disney. So maybe
Oh,
we'll
that
find
hasn't
out what
happened yet.
in a
That's
mouse.
That
today.
didn't happen. And it was going to be next week, I think. It's not today.
But between the last
Why are
time
we planning
talked
to be
about this-
copyright striked by Disney? After I said we don't prepare, I'm like, no, next week is when we're getting the copyright strike.
We
okay,
schedule these things out.
a couple other little things like Ty made that appearance. That was his 100th appearance on Loose Screws. So that was kind of a big deal. Do you want to hear something crazy? Nurgle has now been on more episodes of this show than Ty.
All right.
Wow.
If that doesn't blow anybody's mind, I don't know what will. But I've done over 150 episodes now, which is just fucking stupid. The fact that people still listen to this
We
show,
love
I
you
don't
too.
understand. But I just thought I'd mention that. Those couple little milestones hit recently, as well as I'm doing Chig Chat now just out of order because I want to congratulate Rick F. and Dalton. Otherwise, I will forget later. He hit triple elite amazingly the same week as Jan Tracks. So Jan and FN, Jan, FN, same week hit triple elite. Good job, guys.
Hey,
Yes,
y'all,
good
it's
job.
Chig Chat. Oh, we're going to get our Chig Chat up off in here. I tell you what, boy, it's going to be time. I tell you what, this Chig Chat. Where the cheese at?
I love that one.
Never
There we
gets
go.
old.
One of the greatest sounds ever made.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right, that's all I had. My segment went a bit long there, so I just called it Chig Chat. Right on.
That's fine. That's
I know.
fine.
Well, we don't have rules.
There's no
Shit.
rules.
Shit.
There's no rules.
We're winging
No.
it.
There's no
Yeah.
rules in baseball. Wait.
I mean,
yeah,
there's
there are.
no, there's
Almost, Chig.
there's almost no content for this week anyway. So we're just
There's no
this is it. It's
crying
a
in
community
Chig Chat.
episode.
There's no content in Elite. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, they used to say that about
I'm
pharmaceutical
sorry.
isolators, and now that has been proven false.
Oh, yeah, that's not the quote anymore.
No,
Well, either
was
that
a
or it's
well-known
another mass delusion. You know,
Mass-
now we've got
mass-
three or four people claiming they saw pharmaceutical isolators. Like, okay, guys, where's the video?
Conspiracy theory. I don't believe
Delirium
it.
is spreading.
They also say the galaxy's flat. Fucking losers.
And they say space madness doesn't exist.
Oh, it exists. We're proof.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not even in space.
All right, y'all want to do a squad update?
Yo.
Let's-
Sure.
So, how about we do a squad update? Squadron update. Oh, it's crazy throwback night.
Do it on the episode where he's there.
the best part of that one is it's so clean. It sounds like he's actually saying it because there's no sound effects or anything else. So
Yeah,
I grabbed it right out of the multi-track on that episode.
so good.
nice.
all right, so we have 3 wars going on. One in Cempsigi, which may end with the tick today.
Wait. What's the name of that system? What did you just say?
Siggy.
I thought you said Simp City, and I'm like, what? What?
That's what it sounded like.
Simp City. That's awesome. That sounds
I
like
was
something on
pronouncing-
Starfield.
I was
EA is
pronouncing
getting
that
weird with their
a-
games.
Yeah.
I always pronounce that system with a soft C, but I'm not sure if that's better.
None of us know how they're supposed to be pronounced, so we're making this all up as we go along anyway.
All right,
So
so
the-
Simp City it is.
Cempsigi may have ended today with the tick. I'm not sure, but we want to win that one, and we were up 2-0. We've got one in Yemaia that we also want to win. We have a third war going on in Bagalis. This is a system that our neighbors Utlagarnir are trying to move up and take over, so we do not want to interfere in that war. We want them to win it so they can shuffle that system, and it's one of those Antal systems. They're a better fit to be in control of it anyway, so we want that to happen. Calarum, in Bloomingwind's words, we're doing nothing in Calarum. Consider the system quarantined, with the exception of being a destination for missions from other systems. So don't go to Calarum unless you've had your shots.
I think my carrier's
Oh,
parked
snap.
there. And
Well,
I don't
you know,
have my shots. That's why other people have to go there with shots because I'm there without mine. Are you
probably
saying
what
I'm
caused the
spreading
outbreak.
disease?
Because
I'm
you're
sure.
contagious.
Yeah, we know that.
Um,
Sorry,
uh,
guys.
Ross 310 is currently the only system we have overheating, and that's only by a little bit. And I think Lark and some other people were already working on that.
Oh, that's a classic, huh?
I know it
Confirmed.
hasn't happened in a while for home to get into the warm end of the spectrum. We have 5 systems where we are currently trying to raise influence. They're all listed in Bloomingwind's standing orders post with the target we're trying to get to. And for the moment, we are not pushing anything for expansion. Bloomingwind is still prepping one system, and I think we're waiting for one other expansion in the local neighborhood to go off before we do that. So probably several more days before we're talking expansion. And the details for all of that are in Bloomingwind's standing orders post in the Loose Screws faction channel of the Discord. So you can go there, you can get any details you need on the specifics of what's going on. And if you have any questions, there's a channel there where you can ask those, and one of us BGS geeks will be happy to answer.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
Well done, and all that. So now's usually where I used to play God.
Blah,
Blah, blah, blah.
What is it called? The thing.
blah,
and
blah,
there's a
Salvation
train and
Zanus.
The thing in the place with
The
the guy.
Tinhadium Express.
the tin. Yes.
That one.
Bard had to rewrite some things, it looks like, so I got his back this week.
Uh-oh.
Wait, what?
What? No, he's
Did he send
doing
one in?
rewrites for next week. Yeah, he
Yeah.
sent one in.
Oh, okay, never mind. Carry on. I got comments.
I want to know what Lark was going to do now.
Oh,
What
I'm
were you
gonna
gonna do?
do it anyway. I was just gonna read this one story about the Empress with a lot of,
I'm gonna
Yeah.
All right. I could pass to you for that. We do have an express report. I think what he needed to rewrite is for next week, which is why
yeah, my bad.
the copyright takedowns haven't happened yet. Because he's
Yeah, that's
rewriting them.
next
They're not
week.
going to happen. That's the goal. Is
I
to not
don't
get
believe it.
copyright strikes for
A coward. Make it happen.
So the ending the show with it last time. That's not something he wants us to continue with. Is that the impression I get?
At least he didn't say so.
Yeah, that was a one-off, I think.
Okay. All right, because this one isn't longer than normal. Well,
All right, I got
my
to mute
favorite
my mic.
my
Right.
favorite part last time was we did it. We saved Big Ben. I was like
Yeah.
laughing out loud with headphones on, so everyone was looking at me.
My body is ready.
All right, here we go.
And aboard the Tinhadium Express!
You're going to phone this one in?
Listening to you babble on makes anyone want to phone any and everything in.
To what end does being rude get you? Especially coming from someone who can't spell their own name.
B-A-R-D. Now shut the fuck up and hand me the
Radio. Fine, here it is. Are you going to give the audience a hint of what's coming?
I think we already did, but thanks for bringing that up. I'd like to keep this short and get back to working on that.
Then we better get started.
September 25th, Aegis resolves to free abductees from Titans through the use of explosives and, not kidding, hoping that Titans don't mind.
What did you say now?
September 27th, Thargoid War Update, September 3309. Monthly War Update. Keep sampling the good sample.
And the crowd goes wild.
And on September 29th, deliver resources for Extraction Missile Manufacturer. Another delivery CG, and it's not looking good.
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is?
That's all we have for you this week. Have fun out there. Finally, now I can get back to Mech Warrior.
Mech Warriors cut off.
That guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's bringing it.
Not kidding. Hope the Titans don't mind.
We talked about that last week. We talking about that this week, the explosive stuff. We talked about it last week without you here. What do you think about those things?
The subsurface missile minigame is a lot cooler than just using limpets alone. So I guess that's a point in the right column. It is one of those like Grover was saying in chat earlier, like if you need some topic to talk about, what about the insane stuff that happens in this game that we just say like, okay, because it's a game, you know, like why, you know, this drill with a bomb on it.
It's not.
I mean,
a
whatever.
bomb,
They're
it's
modifying
a shaped
it.
charge.
Yeah, they're modifying it. Blah blah blah. It's cool. I like that better. It's silly, you know, whatever. Reiterating the comments of everybody that explosions are supposed to keep people safe, but so yes, subsurface missiles is cooler than limpets. Congratulations. It's still not the thing everybody wanted, which was to fucking go inside there.
I'm just waiting for the first returned, rescued pod to be opened up and be filled with person jelly and someone to say, there's your problem.
Right.
Yeah. Or, you know, I mean, it looks pretty,
Craft singles.
it looks pretty strong with infected with a human
Yeah.
virus.
Did you say craft singles?
Yeah, they get it. They come, they open it. It becomes craft singles. That's what happens when you use well, we're talking hand wavium that they use in this game to make something else. That's their hand wavium as to where craft singles come from. I'm just saying.
You know, one of two things is going to happen when they open those pods. Either there's going to be a hugoid
Tharman pig.
Tharman pig, there we go.
Yep.
A Tharman pig inside. Or they're going to open it and out is going to come a beautiful caustic butterfly.
I'm voting Tharman pig.
So am I.
I think they're just people, but then later it turns out there's something wrong with them, but we're not going to find out till later.
Like
Soylent
Soylent
Green is
Green?
people.
After we've
two old men on it.
Yeah.
after we've rescued tens and hundreds of thousands, you know,
And release them into society without
weeks later,
medically
right? They're
checking them out. Yeah.
Or they check them out and everything seems fine, you know, or who knows what the excuse is.
I'm just saying, if we open up a pod and pull out a perfectly functioning person, and there's a dead face hugger in the pod next to him, you know,
I feel
maybe
great. I'm hungry.
We should put him in quarantine. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Quarantine,
So
quarantine. Just
what do
put
you
them on
think?
Earth.
Like speaking of the power of retcon, like what do you think if the news comes out we rescue these people and the rescue ships are like, yeah, they seem fine. Let's let them go back into society.
Yeah.
Oh,
no ominous foreshadowing there.
I'm going to think if that happens, or I'm going to say when that happens, that FDev is like every government and does not watch any alien horror movies.
Yeah.
You mean like our modern governments and stuff with AI technology that it's like this nothing can go wrong with this.
Like, have they seen a movie?
I can hear the headlines right now, you know, on Galnet, you know, pilots reunited with their families, you know, joyous reunions with their families, and they're going to be, you know, showing their pictures of them hugging their wife and kids and husbands and stuff like that. And it's like, wait a minute, they just sent them back to their people. That's bad.
It's okay. The next day's headline will be pilot that was returned eats Timmy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, or they all turn to goo after, you know, a couple days. Entire cities laid to waste. Who knows? Human blows up in thermonuclear blast. I have no idea how they're going to do it, but it's just not good. It's such an obvious Trojan horse, but like so obvious that why, you know, I don't know.
With all the reskinning they've been doing, that'll just be a reskinning of the whole Marlinist storyline,
right?
Oh,
yeah, and all over again.
Yeah.
The Far Gods are Marlinists.
No.
I mean, this just calls for the line on this whole Titan thing. Us going in there with these stupid missiles to save them. We really should just be nuking them from orbit. That's the only way we can be sure, right?
All I'm saying is bring on the Trojan horses. As long as I get a plasma flamethrower out of it, I'm good.
Well, that's it, right? Like I'm in a let's get on with this kind of mood. which is a shame.
Yeah.
Just, like let's get to whatever it is. I haven't flown back. I haven't done the scanner and seen the pods. I guess when the drill finally comes out, when the missile drill comes out, I'll go try it out.
To be
It's
fair,
cool.
it is October.
The Titan's cool.
Yeah, but I mean, we're doing
Yeah.
all this stuff. You know, there's all this war stuff going on. What should be, you know, for end game type players, what we should be doing, and we're out making small ships to fight NPCs and Hazreses. You know, it's just weird, but it is what it is.
Don't kink shame.
I like the badges I have on AXI's Discord. Right, I should be on the front lines doing horrible things to Thargoid interceptors, but it does not matter at all.
Yeah.
So that sucks. No, we say that every damn week. So whatever. I'm tired of hearing myself say it. So
I know.
Yeah.
But being
so what are we? We're
Debbie Downer.
2 weeks. Yeah, we're 2 weeks. 2 weeks from the update. Missile probably coming at the update. You think, or
probably I would
before
assume
that?
so.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I actually kind of have my hopes up because we are in October, and it was last October that this whole barrel of flaming caustic monkeys kicked off.
Was it?
No,
Or was October
22,460 was like in August, because I remember I was away on a trip when that happened.
I thought it was a Halloween thing.
And then it was like it took
the Stargoids coming in
at least
for
6
long.
months or something. It took
remember
like half a
Stargoids?
year for the Stargoids to get here.
Remember Stargoids? How exciting that was!
Audaxius, say words.
I like base game.
Back to you, Drax.
Oh my god! What do you think? Audaxius, what do you think about Revenant with 2 headlights? They got 2 now.
I think it gives off twice as much light.
Not
necessarily.
I'm
Full disclosure, guys. I'm Optimist Prime, right? I am now devoting some of my energy into trying to keep my enthusiasm up. And I hate to be at that point because I never have with this game. But at the same time, I'm not going to descend into the road of like, oh, well, they're lazy or they just don't care. That's BS. It comes down to man hours. But I felt like they've kind of, I hate to say they've wasted their own inertia, but like with the narrative and the story, there have been definite hits and absolute misses. Like the whole big galactic superpower council where then they just like anticlimactically disbanded it, and some unnamed vice president's the only guy that dies. I'm like, oh guys, come on. But the whole implementation of the Stargoids and the mechanic of them flying in, there's just this tension and pressure that's building, and it's not wasted yet, but I'm like, oh my god, if everything is just a reskin of a current thing, I hate to be pessimistic about that, but man, it's hard.
Yeah. I mean, I know why they're reskinning things, and you're right, it's a resources thing. Doesn't mean I have to like it.
I'll be fair, I don't. I wish I thought that the payoff, what would it be, like a 3-year-long arc payoff of Odyssey would be this final integration gameplay of the base game and Odyssey and kind of wrap it up in this whole Thargoid narrative, and that it would have been this like icing on the cake. And I don't know if I have the faith in me to say that's still going to happen.
And I think if there are really rapid story beats coming, you know, every couple of weeks something is happening and they're reskinning things to do that, hey, that's fine. You're doing things in rapid order. Yeah. When it's 3 months between story beats, it's a lot harder to stomach a reskin.
Right. The story beats need to happen not just on the clock of the updates. Like whenever that honestly, that's a point that's been bothering me, and I haven't quite realized it until you just said it just then, right? Like we used to have an update that would have a few features in it, and you know, ages ago, right? Oh, core mining is a thing now, blah blah blah, and the story was a separate thing, right? Like, and something was like at some point the Guardians were teased, but that was like a really major update. But like the Thargoids were not, it wasn't like everyone does a download on Monday and then somebody finds a Thargoid. You know what I mean? Like, I do not like the way this goes with a teaser and, oh, look, a Revenant with 2 things. And there's something in this video that you guys haven't seen yet. Is it the lightning? Have we really not seen it? Or has he just not seen my particular tweet? You know, pouring over this video, you know, I like hype as much as the next person, but that sucks. Like, the good thing would be, here are the bug fixes that are planned for this update next week. All right, great. Here's the server downtime. It's back up. Have at it. And then, like, 2 weeks later, somebody finds something. You know, I want that found footage shit to be on somebody's YouTube page
to be
because they found
footage.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, that would kick ass. Like, if there's like, okay, so like, paint this picture, right? Like, so here's the update. Oh, we fixed this weird thing going on with the Thargoid conflict zone, so that's going to be working right. We've added these new markers to the war so you can see where there are counter-strike zones, you know, so now we can start pushing them back. Oh, that's awesome. Great. Sweet. You know, these graphical bugs are fixed. These audio bugs are fixed. Look at this glorious long list. Okay, servers are back up. Have at it. 6 days later, somebody gets pulled by a glaive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then has to tell their friends about it. And then sooner or later, somebody with screen recording on catches one in the act and posts it on Reddit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would kick ass.
That is absolutely the way that should have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the news trickles out with, you know, obviously the YouTube channels, you know, Burr Pit putting something out, Witch Space News, you know, I agree. If they want, you know, it's supposed to be,
but
like,
you can't put that back in the
universe.
You can't put that back in the bottle.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
it's a
just
one-way.
Instead of a dynamic universe right now, we've got, I don't know, election seasons. This is happening, and then this is coming up.
Right. Remember how excited we were that they might change one of the faces on the power play roster, and then they just pushed it back 6 months.
Oh my God. Why?
You know what? I'm just going to stay in power for a while. Let's draw out this election story. Oh, look, now there's candidates and they're going to talk for the next 6 months. This is going to be exciting. Oh, delete one of the candidates.
The interesting one. The interesting candidate.
Yeah, delete the candidate that isn't the same old thing.
To be fair, the interesting one got a little too close to life, I think.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong.
Wasn't that always the point? You know, but still, look, they don't have to elect him, but like just deleting him I don't know. I have no idea if they're planning on any of this being more than just Galnet articles.
He'll be back.
Maybe they're not.
Right.
Maybe they're not.
No, you know what?
He's going to be in an escape pod that somebody rescues.
Does anybody seriously doubt that if they had a 3-way CG for federal president, that Calico Jack would not have won in an overwhelming landslide in the first few hours?
Yeah, I could have run missions all day, every day for any other candidate, and he still would have won.
The feds, the scores of people who fly in solo and support the feds from their basements are the only people who have ever managed to fuck with us in the BGS and like not just instantly got steamrolled like
from their basements.
He's
because
not
I'm
wrong.
I'm being really insulting to them, Audaxius. That's what I'm insinuating that they are basement trolls.
But what if they're mole people and they like living underground?
Mole feds confirmed.
I'm sure they think they like it. No, but anyway, all this is to say, I actually am not sure that Rackham would have won that if it was like a CG election or something like that. I'm not sure because I think the others have their supporters. And they role play pretty hard.
No, you know who would have won?
We'll see. Or we won't see, I guess.
You know who would have won? I can tell you who would have won. Whoever the hell FDev wanted to win, because it doesn't seem like we have any power anymore.
By
you're right.
The power of retcon.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that CG failed.
No, you know what I actually think is going on?
No, it's by the power of Roller Coaster Tycoon.
But I mean, honestly,
the whole failing CGs thing also is just like, ugh.
Well, I was going to bring that up with the participation is so low. Somebody was trying to hypothesize that, you know, some people just aren't joining the CGs. They can hit the cash cow that some of these CGs present with running cargo or whatever the hell it is. But I just think it's lack of interest.
Progress.
Exactly, without them completing. they can
No,
run longer.
there's no way that's enough.
I don't think so either.
And here's the thing. They have countless times moved the goalposts on the CGs in both directions. They just didn't.
Yeah.
This time.
You guys don't care,
So
neither do we.
They could have literally just caused it to succeed, and then we'd all be saying a slightly different thing, right? Like, oh, they just moved the goalpost based on interest, but at least they made their story work. Now they didn't even make their story work, and they're like, well, they're just gonna read the next page anyway.
Yep, they're just gonna pretend that didn't happen.
They're not even gonna change the name on the next chapter.
All right,
You know what I actually think is going on behind the scenes at FDev regarding the development?
Yeah, the game's like 10 years old.
Yeah, well, that too, but I actually truly believe this.
Newsflash.
I feel like the community leaders and the creative team are treating it like a live game, but the head honcho managers and the dev team are treating it like a single player game, and it's showing.
I'm not sure. I think these last two CGs that didn't complete, it was, CG Steve, the guy who came up with these CGs, he's like, this is what we're going to do. And there was no participation. And then all of a sudden they come to CG Steve, and he's sitting in a corner like one of Adaxius's NPCs, just staring in the corner, distraught. And they come up, Steve, what's the matter? And he's like, nobody likes my CG. And then they're like, oh, well, should we fix it so they complete it? He goes, I don't even care anymore. And they just left it. That's
and he's the only one
theory.
who knows how to do it, so it never got changed.
Exactly.
I do think
CG Steve.
I do think that, so the one that's going on now is tiers. There's a reward tier, so you can't really say that one completes or not. But the
if they still give the rewards. Tier 1, if it doesn't meet tier 1,
but it's already hit
complete.
But it's already hit tier 1.
Yeah, okay, so it completed.
Right. So the serious one that didn't hit tier 1.
Right.
I honestly believe that there was no plan B.
I think
where does the story
for
go?
Sure, we're going to support Sirius.
Yeah. There was never a thought that it wouldn't happen, because the story depends on the things coming out. That's where they're going next. So there was never a thought that it wasn't going to happen. And so when it didn't happen, they were like, okay, carry on.
I blame Lee Yongri.
I'm surprised. I'm just surprised they didn't move the number partway through. Or
make it easier.
Yeah, that's what surprises me more than there not being a plan B.
That's because a CG Steve was crying. Let him be, Steve. That's my new pretend. That's my canon for the fictional options that are FDev.
Frontier has such this impregnable curtain over everything. CG Steve is the one tool we have to relate to them as developers.
And
what you just called CG Steve a tool. Did you hear that? You just called him a tool. You're gonna make him cry.
Was it CZ Steve last week or
CZ Steve? How many Steves do we got here?
Well, like Exploration Steve or something. I forget what it was.
Hey, FDev Dave likes to hire a lot of Steves. It's not my fault.
Very common name in the UK.
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean, I was a big fan of the guy who put neutron jumping in the game. Neutron Nate. He was a good guy. He should add more stuff.
Nobody ever respects Black Hole Ben.
Yeah, his visuals are out of date.
Oh my god! Oh man!
That was Victoria's department. Victoria Visuals.
Oh my god!
No, Black Hole Ben said something to Victoria, and then he had to do some sexual harassment training.
And then that audio
with
Daxius
HR
guy
Helen
fucked it all up.
HR Helen.
My specialty.
I think we're already overestimating how many people work at FDev these days.
Yeah, you're right.
To that point, like this game is the best value of any game. Like I have played some games
seriously.
Into the ground. Like I played Oblivion. Like I played a single player Bethesda game for like 3,000 hours.
Gross.
And that's well, whatever. Up yours,
I was
Jake.
the
But the
same way
point
with
is that is
Oblivion.
nothing. That
Just
is
run those
nothing.
chaos gates forever, man.
Yeah, the number of hours I've gotten this, if we break down what I spent on this game to the
Right.
number of hours,
Exactly.
good God, and
Best-
that doesn't include podcast recording for fuck's sake.
Far and away, just actual gameplay, far and away the best value in gaming ever in the history of my whole life, right?
All right,
and
let's
thousands
share
and
ours.
thousands of others. So, okay, well, I mean, we could do that. My point was just going to be like, it's okay for this to like this that. When I said earlier, like I'm kind of like in get it over with, or not get it over with, get on with it. That's what I'm meaning. I'm not saying like I'm not impressed and I want it to be over. I want to find out what happens in this story, but like let's just do it, and then let's stop all the talk about maintenance mode. Put this fucking thing in maintenance mode and start working on whatever the next thing is going to be. I guess I don't know. It just. I'm okay with that.
I'm in the same boat.
I'm okay with that. They're not going to turn off the servers right away. I don't know what's going to happen eventually. I don't know if this would be possible to open source this. I kind of think not, the way the Galaxy servers are designed, but like whatever, that's okay.
I'm going to start calling you
years.
justifying mediocrity, Justin. That's what you're.
No, it's not mediocrity. It's been great. There's nothing mediocre about it. It's been great for way longer than any other game.
So I played EVE Online and World of Warcraft for years and years.
Gross.
I have more hours in this than I ever did in them. I have 2,533.4 hours according to Steam, and I've never owned the normal version, just always played through Steam. That's insane for how much time I put into a game, and I still love it. I don't care.
All right, I'm looking at my number now. Hold on.
All right. Yeah,
launch Steam, boys.
Your number.
Come on, Adaxius.
Yeah. Mine doesn't
where do I
count
see
because
that
of how
again?
often I just sit with the main menu open.
Sure it does.
At least this is the thing that I tell myself.
I'm not even main menu. Game open, holding an instance. Come on, keep it straight.
Yeah, exactly.
Be real.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, where do I find how long I played in Elite?
Stats.
In Steam.
In Steam, just go to the library.
Yeah,
and
library,
right
and if you just
there.
click on Elite on the left-hand side, it should tell you on the main page.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I've got 2,441 hours, and I played a solid year on the version in the Oculus store too. So
nice.
It's definitely over 3,000.
Those some rookie numbers.
Yeah, losers.
5,134.
Good grief.
You guys have played way too much of this game.
You're not
How about
kidding.
you, Chick?
Yeah, I've got. I think we've been over this before. I've got
CQC Elite?
well over 3 hours in this game.
It takes 3,000 hours just to get CQC and Elite, and that's only one of the things he's done.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It didn't take 3,000 hours to get Elite.
So note to file.
You're right,
Chig is
it
the
took
over
2,800. Come on.
Yeah.
Over 9,000.
Yeah, Chig is the over 9,000 meme.
Yeah.
Sure felt like
explode.
over 3,000, but no. If I remember correctly, didn't I say it was like something like 620 hours or something to get Elite and CQC?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah,
it was I know I don't have the game loaded up right now. Whatever. I know it tells you in game the actual number, but it gives you in like weeks and years and stuff, which is
I
don't know. It's sort of fun,
just a little
but
bit of math.
I know.
I don't know if I want to know the real world version of that number.
I kind of like, because my Steam, like I said, I had the Oculus Store version as well that I have a lot of time on, and so technically my number's way low, but I don't know. I guess I can go figure it out. Anywho.
Point is, I've got
I
my
mean
money's worth, so
I don't feel
it.
bad
I feel
at
fine.
4,300 anymore. I have looked at that number and felt shame, but I'm like, at least I'm not Chig.
Felt shame about getting value out of something that, like, good lord.
The more hours you've played, the more value you've gotten out of this game. Think of it that way.
The cost of a cup of coffee, you know what I mean? And you just drink it. And then, to have shame about spending 4,000 hours doing something that costs like, what was the most expensive if you bought everything out of this game? What'd you spend? $100, $150 if you bought a bunch of arcs? Give me a break.
Yeah,
I've played this game multiple times, and I've bought a bunch of arcs back before I boycotted spending money with them. Like 2 years ago. I would, just because I felt guilty about how many hours I put in this game without giving them more money, I would buy arcs just as a tribute.
And
I buy arcs just because I like how the thingy looks on my ship.
Yeah,
that's what they're for, Lark.
And I was morally opposed. I had never done a game with any kind of transactions other than buying the game before Elite. And I remember that initial revulsion to like a microtransaction and being that's like scummy. But then it's 4,300 hours in. I have legitimately spent arcs just as a like gesture of appreciation because they don't charge us that monthly fee that other games have. And some WoW players play for 20 years and been paying a monthly fee. I've done none of that. That's, if nothing else, it's a testament to its sticking power, because I'm like, I don't have any other emotional connection to a game besides Starfield, but if like no review can like make you no. I guess my point is like, if a game's good enough that you're willingly ponying up the money and it's not out of some addiction or some like, it's just that means a lot. So
yeah, I've never needed an arc pack or, a ship kit or a paint job. I've never needed it. Like, oh, I must have that. I've only spent money on arcs because I'm like, I kind of feel I should. And, because of how many hours I've put in, I feel I owe them something. I feel like a cheap bastard.
It's a lot harder for pure cosmetic things to become an addiction too, right? Like they don't actually change you able to play what you're able to play in the game.
So, and I don't know if this may be a whole other podcast, but the question is like, I threw this out in the Discord. Do you guys see Elite 2 in the future?
I think eventually, but I really don't
this is
believe
technically like Elite 15 or whatever. 3, 4.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
it's 4.
Yeah.
Elite, so what's after Dangerous? Deadly. Do you guys see Elite Deadly?
I would love to. I would have preferred that to Odyssey.
Oh yeah.
I think I wished that happened 3 years ago. I wish development stopped on this and we were all still playing Horizons. And then a year from now or whatever, we get a teaser for Elite 2.
Yeah, but what does that look like? Does that mean we get some kind of conclusion to this war and stuff, and then the next game would be like 1,000 years in the future or something? I mean, you don't want
a few hundred or something. If I'd say
at
the way they've been doing
it. Hundred, but people are living a few hundred years in this game, right? So maybe
it'd be a few hundred years more, and Zemina Torval would still be alive.
Yeah. If you think back to
sort of something cool, they could actually have like. If you played this game and you were triple elite and stuff like that, you get some kind of stuff in the future where like, players that had that could find like breadcrumbs back to your old player in the old game kind of thing.
You'd have like a lore beacon.
Exactly.
Cool.
Or a crashed ship and some mats.
That would be cool.
If you think back to when, before Odyssey was coming out and we were talking about what we wanted to see in Odyssey, the number 1 and number 2 things we said were, we want to fix, in no particular order, we want to fix instancing and networking so that mess gets solved, and we wanted a refresh on the engine.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's, we were basically asking for Elite 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Elite 5.
Yeah, because
I should start
both
saying Elite
those
5.
things were very
dangerous
low-level engine changes, so...
They slapped something on top of the existing engine. They just...
Well, Odyssey 2, I came up with a theory at one point that Odyssey should have almost been a different game that you could play together rather than it being added to this game.
They couldn't get into that because then it would have been Squadron 42, a la Star Citizen.
Yeah, but if they actually released it, it wouldn't have been Squadron 42 of Star Citizen.
True, but still.
Wham.
So,
hot take.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. TLDR, we have our complaints. Still love and play the game.
I have plenty to complain about, and they're fair complaints, but definitely got my money's worth. And that's probably something I haven't said enough over the years. of doing this.
Yeah. I would not complain near this much about a game I did not like. I would just stop playing it.
Exactly.
Yes, a dead game no one talks about.
Yeah.
And
No,
actually
that
dead
is
game,
absolutely not true. Have you ever been on Reddit or the forums? There's
Oh,
a
yeah,
million
true.
people that don't play the game anymore, and they just show up to bitch.
Yeah, look,
Yeah, that's fair.
Reddit doesn't count. It's a cesspool anyway in the forums. Who goes to the forums?
I haven't in a
The
long
forums
time.
are even more of a cesspool. The forums make Reddit look sane.
Well, it always boggles my mind. People that go and they'll be on a forum and they'll post, like 50 posts a week talking about how much they hate a game and how it's a dead game and how they hate this game and they don't care about this game. And it's like, Jesus Christ, man! I'd hate to see what you do with things you do care about.
I know.
This is crazy.
Hey, we found Chigzalt.
For something you don't care about, you seem to care an awful lot about it.
Yeah.
Great quote by Shakespeare. Methinks the lady doth protest too much.
Yep.
Yes.
It fits that precisely.
It does.
That's very rapey.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Damn, Jig.
Wow.
We got to
It's
get him
not,
back
and
on
you
his
should
medication.
be ashamed of
I
yourself.
was going to go into a whole thing about the Galnet article that came out today, but with the mood Chig is in, I'll just leave it to Bard.
No, that's all right. We're gonna just pivot. This has been a good podcast, a good discussion. We have one more bit of news that I am told happened, and I'm going to pass it over to Lark to tell me all about Arissa's hoo-ha.
Oh man, I don't have the thing open anymore. Hold on.
You don't wait.
He promised me he was going to give me some news about Arissa's hoo-ha.
Wait, are we going to pass? Are we going to completely gloss over Arissa's hoo-ha and wait, I don't have it open yet? Are we going to miss that?
No.
Yes, because it gets much, much worse.
Oh boy. All right. Let's hear about Arissa's hoo-ha.
So I'm just going to gloss over this because I don't want to take all of Bard's thunder.
Oh no,
because
dig
I'm
in. You should really dig into
What is
this.
I'm
this?
sure
Dig
he'll
into
have
Arissa's
things to say
hoo-ha.
about this.
Delve deep.
Really get in there, Lark. Let's
for
really
crying out loud.
explore the whole issue.
Explore the space.
Work it.
Explore the space.
So anyway, so the Imperial Senate was talking today, basically about the fact that Arissa does not have any consorts, husband, lovers, ex-lovers, basically anything. So she has no heir at all. And so on the Senate floor, the debate was instigated by Senator Lysandra Corsell, who said, quote, and I'm going to paraphrase here, the continuation...
Then why did you say quote?
Quote.
That's the opposite of quote.
You can't paraphrase a quote. You quote the quote.
I'm going to wait.
You're a quote. Who said, and I'm
You
paraphrasing...
summarize.
Sorry, brain's going a million miles an hour.
There is too much. I will sum up.
Oh, he threw me off my groove.
I'm sorry, you've thrown off Long Shadow's groove.
The Senator Lysandra Corsell said, and I'm paraphrasing, the continuation of the Duval bloodline is intrinsically linked with the Emperor's layered waffle. It has formed the linchpin of our society over 1,000 years. But it has been 8 years since Arissa became our ruler, and in that time, not one person, one consort, has breached the walls of Helm's Deep.
Jesus.
She must
layered waffle? What?
She must open Cthulhu's cave in order to produce an heir.
As far as paraphrased quotes go, that was pretty good.
You really explored the space there.
Chancellor Anders Blaine proclaimed, Her Majesty has sacrificed so much for the Empire, including her pack of baloney. It is not our place to question the Emperor, nor her beaver.
I'm so horrified.
Can't take it.
You can't look
Her
away.
vision will lead us to prosperity and security.
Can we play the Bard train noise again and have a crash at the end?
Oh, frick, the rest of the quotes are just press stuff. That's seriously all I had and all I'm willing to go in.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good
That's
place
as deep
to
as
stop.
you're willing to go.
Yeah. He's all in.
Yep.
He's balls deep.
So now that we're canceled, it's been great, boys.
Oh, we've done worse.
204 great episodes. Well, 203.
Well, now we just got to talk to CG Steve about getting that layered waffle CG set up.
It's just
wrong. Lord, I'm going to get in trouble for that.
You're all good, man. We needed that.
Yeah, the good news is she's not a real person.
You're only in trouble if Trax takes some sound clips out of that for future use.
Please don't.
For his future political run.
I don't like that laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The downside of having an audio engineer as your host is everything lives on forever.
Yep.
Trust me, I'm aware.
I don't have some of Chig's good ones loaded up yet. I've been pretty lazy about loading up the new soundboard, actually. Either that or I subconsciously thought maybe I should be doing less of that.
I figured out how to work that last week. Did you see that? I actually played Bard's thing. I used it.
Actually played Bard's thing.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Next week, I'm going to play Arissa's Hoo-Ha.
All right, guys. I think it's time to wrap it up. Don't
Movies
you?
and cheese.
I think we need to.
I'm going to reiterate that I'm putting
legally you're obligated to
this AXI community bug list. The link to their Discord page, where that links to all of the current
there's a lot of numbers.
Bugs related to AX stuff. Yeah, whatever. It's a Discord channel link. It's horrible, but they're linking to a bunch of issue tracker posts that everyone should go vote for, because like there's there continues to be persistent. Find our links,
so maybe we should just read it. It's https discord.com/discord.com/channels/4/468090768268112635555. I can't do the rest. I was about halfway, guys.
95265/11550889869031350412. And that'll take you directly to the.
Did we tell them to grab a pen before we started?
Did you carry the one?
We should give it to him again.
Read it all over again.
https:// No, I'm not doing that.
It's the same combo as my luggage.
It's in the show notes. Links to the current bug list that AX is involved with. There are unfortunately a few new ones on there that recent updates have added. The list is growing instead of getting smaller, which is a shame. But anyway, they're there. Please upvote, because it's still the best thing we have to get them going. Okay, time for fluff. Take it away, guys.
Well, we have.
Wait, let me do a cheese first.
That's part of the fluff.
I had a cheese spread that I had the other day, and I wrote down the name of it, and it's sitting downstairs. It was really good. Yes. Oh my God! You're still on Arissa's Hoo-Ha. It was a
cheese spread,
Chardonnay and cheddar cheese spread. It was amazing. How is that for a cheese? I can't even tell you what the hell it was.
Outstanding.
That's somewhat less than helpful.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
All right. So moving on from the unnamed cheese, we have 6 movies this week. We have Gravity from 10 years ago.
What do you guys think of that?
Saw that in 3D.
Yeah.
I had fun. My wife would not recommend seeing it in 3D.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
It was there were some moments where I sort of like blocked part of the screen with my hands, get the little VR comfort vignette thing on a couple of those spinning scenes. Anyway, yeah, it was. I can imagine. It was like fun and unrealistic.
Very unrealistic, unfortunately.
Yeah. 20 years ago, we have School of Rock and Mystic River.
There you go.
Yeah,
25 years ago.
Okay, Mystic River was depressing. I mean, all that was is how horrible Tim Robbins' life could go from beginning to end, and how all his friends fuck him over. It was,
25 years ago, Ants.
Actually, pretty good movie.
That's not bad.
30 years ago, Everything is Taco Bell, Demolition Man.
Amazing movie. The 3 seashells.
One of Cheek's favorites.
Murder, Death, Kill. One of my favorite ones in there is like Sandra Bullock is watching like old footage of him before he got put to sleep in the movie. Oh wait, do we need to do spoiler alerts on a 30-year-old movie?
No.
Yep.
Okay. Spoiler alert. She's watching old footage of him, and he's carrying this child. There's like flame, building burning in the background. He's carrying this little girl, and this reporter goes, hold on, I pulled up the quote because it's great. This reporter yells at him as he's carrying this little girl. He goes, "How can you justify destroying a $7 million mini mall to rescue a girl whose ransom was only $25,000? The little girl goes, "Fuck you, lady." I love it. Great movie. Yes, highly recommend.
And then 40 years ago, Never Say Never Again.
Yes. Good
Classic.
Yes.
Classic Bond with the great line, "So glad to have you back, Mr. Bond. I hope we're going to have some gratuitous sex and violence."
Outstanding.
To be fair, they got both those things.
They did. Well, that's pretty much the subplot for every Bond movie anyway.
Sure.
But I am a Bond fan. I have a friend who incidentally is actually named Steve, who is a Bond. He's Bond Steve, who is a Bond fanatic. And when I say fanatic, he literally has a spare bedroom in his house that is dedicated to James Bond paraphernalia. He is a fanatic for James Bond. So when I saw that when I saw Never Say Never Again was 40 years, I called Steve and said, "Give me 3 things about this movie people need to know."
Okay.
So the first
Here comes the countdown list.
Yeah. So the first one I already knew, but the guy who produced it, and I had to look this up, the executive producer's name was Kevin McClory. He was the producer and co-writer of the Thunderball movie. He sued Ian Fleming to make his own Bond movie. And okay, that's what happened. He sued Ian Fleming to make his own Bond movie. He won, and the settlement stipulated that he had to remake Thunderball, which is what Never Say Never is again.
So just a full remake.
Yeah, it's a reskin of Thunderball.
Okay.
Number 2, there is a rumor that has never been disproven, apparently, that the name for the movie, Never Say Never Again, came from Sean Connery had said he was never going to make another James Bond movie, and then he made this movie, and his wife said, "Sean, never say never again." And they made that the name of the movie. And then one that I had never heard, the martial arts instructor for this movie was a very young, very thin, and very not crazy. I hate it when the name leaves me like that. Where did I leave my notes?
Considering your lead up, it's got to be Steven Seagal, right?
It's Steven Seagal. Yes. It's Steven
okay. Let's see, who's crazy and isn't thin anymore?
Yeah.
Sometimes foreshadowing's obvious.
And he got so mad at Sean Connery during a training session that he broke Sean Connery's wrist. And apparently it wasn't a full break, it was a minor break. And Sean Connery went along with that injury for years, thinking it was just pain in his wrist before he found out it was broken.
Whoa.
So apparently he broke a minor bone in his wrist, but Steven Seagal broke Sean Connery's wrist on that movie.
Huh. Interesting.
What a crazy asshole.
That Sean Connery went on to live to age 90 before he died of that injury.
Yeah. We blame Steven Seagal, yes. When in doubt, blame Steven Seagal.
Oh, jeez.
What a chump.
So that was our little breakout of Bond trivia.
All right. That's not going to be part of our fluff every week, is it?
No.
Only if it's another Bond movie.
Bond trivia.
Bond trivia. Oh, let's do the Bond trivia. All right.
Well, let me paraphrase. Nurgle is a fan and his friend is a fanatic. I'm trying to figure out the difference.
The difference is I don't have a room full of James Bond junk.
Yeah, one of them has a capital F.
Yeah.
You're a capital F.
I go and see the new Bond movie on premiere weekend. He goes at midnight.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, everybody. That was a pretty good podcast, right? Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks.
If you say so.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. Anyway, if you're listening, check our show notes for all the shit we talked about and links to our Discord. You can support the show on Patreon, patreon.com/loosescrewsed. You know where to find it. You can use Google. Come on. loosescrewsed.com. We have a merch store, which does not have scarves, but I don't know. Maybe if somebody reminds me later this week, I'll rectify that situation. Yeah.
Winter.
And, yeah. So that's about the size of it. Do what you got to do. Leave us a review. Nobody ever does that, but you still say it. I don't know.
Assholes.
Whatever. Bunch of jerks. Anyway, Lark already had to say goodnight and take off. So goodbye, Lark. Thanks for coming. And thanks also to Audaxius and Chig and Nurgle. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
That's wonderful. And you can shout a bunch of expletives and we can be out of here. All right.
Bye, Stevie. Steve.
Bye-bye.
Hope you feel better.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.